Most people think arguments are won by intelligence. They're wrong. The person who controls emotions controls the conversation. And once you understand this, you'll start noticing something disturbing. The people who always seem to win arguments are rarely the loudest people in the room. They're the calmest. Because the moment emotions take over, the brain stops searching for truth and starts searching for survival. That's why smart people suddenly say irrational things during debates. Their emotional brain hijacks their logical brain. Psychologists call this an amygdala hijack. The amygdala is the part of the brain responsible for detecting threats. And during an argument, your brain often treats disagreement like danger. That's why your heart beats faster, your voice changes, your thoughts become messy. And the more emotional you become, the more predictable you become. This is the first secret of people who always win arguments. They stay emotionally neutral, while everyone else loses control. And here's the strange part. The angrier someone becomes, the more they believe they're winning. But usually, the opposite is true. Because emotional people react, calm people observe, and observers always see more than reactors. This is why elite negotiators speak slowly, why skilled interviewers stay silent, why psychologically powerful people rarely rush their words. Silence creates pressure. And emotional people hate silence, so they keep talking, and eventually they expose themselves. But emotional control is only the first layer. The second secret is even deeper. Most arguments are not actually about facts. They're about identity. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance. When information threatens someone's beliefs, the brain experiences psychological discomfort. And instead of changing their mind, most people defend their ego. This is why arguing harder almost never works. In fact, it usually makes people more stubborn. Because when people feel attacked, their brain shifts into self-defense mode. They stop listening, they stop thinking, and they start protecting their identity. Think about it. Have you ever realized you were wrong during an argument, but still kept defending yourself anyway? Almost everyone has. Because humans don't just defend opinions, they defend the version of themselves attached to those opinions. The best communicators understand this. That's why they don't humiliate people. They guide them, slowly, carefully. Because persuasion works better through curiosity than force. If you make people feel stupid, they resist you. If you make people feel understood, they open up. And that leads to the third secret of people who always win arguments. They control the frame. Every conversation exists inside a psychological frame. Who looks calm? Who looks emotional? Who seems confident? Who seems reactive? The person controlling that frame controls how the conversation is perceived, even by observers. This is why confidence often appears more convincing than logic. If one person stays calm while the other becomes emotional, people subconsciously assume the calm person is more rational. Even if both people are equally right, because humans are emotional creatures pretending to be logical, and the strongest communicators understand this deeply. They control their tone, their pace, their body language, their pauses, because controlling pace controls emotion. Watch skilled debaters closely. They rarely react instantly. They pause. And that pause is powerful because it signals control. Most people react automatically. Very few respond intentionally. And that difference changes everything. So here's a simple exercise you can use immediately. The next time someone tries to provoke you, pause for 3 seconds before responding. Just 3 seconds. That tiny pause interrupts emotional reactivity. It gives your logical brain time to come back online, and psychologically, it makes you appear more confident and composed. Most people are controlled by emotion without realizing it. That's why they lose arguments before they even begin. In the end, people who always win arguments are not masters of language, they are masters of themselves. Because emotional control is rare, and rare traits create powerful people. Most people spend their lives trying to control others. Very few learn to control their own mind, and those people become almost impossible to manipulate. In a world ruled by reactions, calmness becomes a superpower.